What is up, everyone? I am today here with my client, the John Paul. John Paul is a men's vitality and embodiment coach who not only teaches men how to be magnetic but also elevate their confidence not only in the boardroom but also in the bedroom. So, John teaches sexual alchemy to men, the Taoist methods, 5,000-year-old methods, and how to raise your sexual energy being and transmute it upwards through your spine. So, when I joined John Paul as his marketer and handled his marketing side of his business, John's email were landing in spam. But fast forward to 58 days, we created a workshop funnel which ended up bringing $38,000 in revenue to John Paul. So in this conversation, we are just gonna break down that journey and how John went from being in spam to making freaking $38,000 from one singular workshop. What is up, John? How are you doing, brother? And can you quickly introduce yourself and what do you do and where can like people find you?
Yeah, man, that was epic. Thank you for that introduction. For me, I love that I not only help men gain confidence in the boardroom, but in the bedroom. I need to like make that a tagline for myself, man.
Absolutely, you do,
So
brother.
that's why you're my marketer, bro. Um, yeah, I mean that introduction nailed it. But people can find me at jpkexperience.com or jpkexperience at G or excuse me, at Instagram. I'm still waking up a little bit. We're on a different timeline, which has been cool to be able to work in different timelines. But anyways, yeah, JPK Experience is my Instagram. Um, yeah, I feel really blessed to be able to support men in this realm. I've been doing this for the last 5 years in this specific context and coaching and guiding people through health and wellness and even a little bit of marketing myself through a uh, yeah, a superfood company that I was building out about 8 years ago. And so I had experience in the creation, the selling of things. Um, but really, man, when I started working with you, you took it to a next level and you allowed me to do the things that I love to do, which is like be one on one or in a group with people, connect with them, support them through their own healing journey, and um, and do the things that I don't necessarily want to do, which is you get to market and spread my message and help me create even greater impact. So thank you for that, my friend.
Thank you for that humble start of this call, John. And definitely, like, if you guys are like dealing with any kind of like shadow work problem, and if you are like interested in raising your sexual alchemy and raising any kind of, becoming potent as a man, that definitely what I have worked with John, I can like sense that kind of energy from John. And as he said, John, you did not like have any kind of marketing experience, but once I was like writing this one particular email for you, I got to know that you got to made the super, what was the name again? Super powder.
The superfoods?
The superfoods like a $500,000 in revenue. So that was like awesome to hear. Like just because of the work that you have just done, you are like able to navigate that energy in that part of the marketing also. So yeah, it was like really great to like write about. And so John, if I would just have to ask you, can you like give a brief about how we both met and how was the first interaction being like, and where were you in terms of revenue wise, if that would be okay to share, and what how, how was that like the workshop till the journey of workshop? Like forgot about the workshop, but how did we met at first?
Man, I love this story because I get so many messages in Instagram, like message requests from people being like, "Hey, I can help your business." And I'm like, "Cool. No, thank you." And or they'll like send me a compliment. They'll be like, "Hey, I saw that video. That was super cool." And then they ask a question, but they're not following me. They're not like really engaging. And it's very clear that they're just sending me a message to build their business,
Yeah.
which is fine. Like I'm all for that. Um, but the way that you approached it was very, it was was raw, it was real, and maybe you send it to other people too, but it really touched me because basically what you said was, hey John Paul, I'm going to, and you inserted, like you did a blank insert, return, insert, return. I do copyright, and I can help out your business. If you want to have a conversation, let me know. And the way it was framed was, it wasn't bullshit. It was like, it was real. And I was like, I like that. And it was funny. And it grabbed my attention. And I'm like, what could be, this isn't going to hurt for me to have a conversation with you. And when I had that initial conversation, I was like, yeah, this guy's awesome. I want to work with him. I really appreciated how you were breaking things down and what you were willing to offer and provide me. And it was like no harm, no foul. And so fast forward, or I guess rewind to where I was at with my business. Business was pretty good up until that point. I had been, I think that was early on in the year, probably like 4 or 5 months ago. And I had some steady sustainability with clientele work, but I also wanted to take it to the next level. And I'd already made more this year than I had last year. But when we started working on this workshop together, which was a vision of mine to do, and you're like, oh, I can help you. Like, this is what I do. Let me take care of this. I was like, cool. And that was the biggest surge of income that I've experienced at once. It definitely took what I had been making this year to a whole nother level, in that short period of time, and has set me up for this next year coming into 2026, where we're already working on another workshop and project, and planning to make 6 figures with this one. So, and I really believe that that's possible with your knowledge, your wisdom, and what I can offer men in the realms of shadow work, in the realms of sexual vitality. And so, man, really grateful to be collaborating with you on this, and allowing the knowledge that I have to come through in a way that lands for people to be like, this is the material I want. This is the work that I want to step into. Because you're a master at what you do with copyright and marketing, and it really makes a difference. And that's stuff that I could try to do on my own, but you've got the mind for it. So it's a blessing.
I'm glad that my services was of service, John. So, I do remember our calls, our initial, and first of all, absolutely 6 figures. I can imagine them landing in your bank account, and that is only like, just a time span needed thing. And after like the time has passed away, that is definitely going to happen. And on the initial days when we were like hopping on a call, I do remember that one time at night I was like working on the domain part of things, and just to like the technical side of things, just to get the things out of spam to promotion, and then eventually to the inbox of your emails. I do remember you were like in the middle of a group coaching call, and I was like, John, a password has just arrived in your mobile phone. Can you like pass it over to me? And those days I just cannot forget, because those were like really the base beginning and the foundational level, because I did not even knew that the workshop was something which you had in mind. But my only job was to like make you ROI on your email marketing part. And when I saw that the emails were landing in spam, then I was like, head on, like, let us not set up the welcome email sequence, or let us not like send even a single message over through emails, but let us just focus on getting emails out of spam at first. And definitely, John, when you like told about the workshop, I was like, heck yeah, I can just take you and I can like handle the back end of those. But John, as per your part, you had not like seen me making those landing pages, making those sales pages for you, as I was like only like writing emails for you. So what, why did you like even trusted me when I had not shown any proof of concept to you? So what was your thought behind it?
Yeah, I think it was a combination of you bringing me value. Like that's a concept that I really focus on for myself. Like how can I bring people value? Yeah, the money is great, but it's like, can I really give people value? And as I bring people value, there's trust built. And that's what
Yeah,
you did with me. You brought me value. You supported you got emails out of spam and into
yeah,
the inbox, and you set up really beautiful email sequences. And when you told me that that's something that you can do, I was like, cool. I've already built up rapport and trust with you. Let's see where this can go. And um, yeah, and so I was like, well, let's experiment and show me what you got. And you delivered, man. And so I think it comes down to value and trust. And it's funny because Kay, my friend and housemate and someone who I've talked with you about, and she's really curious about your work. Like the first time we got on a call, she's like, can you trust this guy? And because it was really random. It started with that Instagram message, and I was like, I get a warm feeling about this man. Like it wasn't snaky, it wasn't salesy. It was warm and genuine, and that's who you are, and that's why I could trust you. And so, um, I trust people until they do me wrong, and trust that they don't do me wrong because I do have a pretty good sense of like what's bullshit and what's not,
yeah,
and I know
that you have, absolutely. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. I didn't know that, but yeah, definitely like providing value and value and value. Definitely, you are just gonna, not only make business elevate and grow, but you're just gonna develop a deeper relationships with people. That is the motto which I always have. And do you remember the time when I said that the only output that I, have in mind is to get a great case study out of the workshop that we are just gonna have. And now when it is the day when I'm just making this case study and when we have like generated $38,000, it just like, brightens my heart. And definitely that is what the plan was. And yeah,
And mind you, I just also want to mention that this was my very first workshop.
absolutely.
Like I was afraid. I was like nervous and knew it was something that I needed to do, but like, I'd heard stories of like what's possible, and I was like, yeah, wow, I could maybe sign up a couple clients. I could, like maybe make $20,000. Yeah, shooting for the moon, but like I really didn't have much idea of what I was doing, and you supported me through that. We collaborated together and delivered a really potent, powerful workshop where we had what, like 80 guys registered, 40 guys showed up, and that alone like was amazing, impactful information. So I know that that made impact to like at least the 40 guys who were there, and I know people were also watching the recording. But then for five, 6 men to say like, yes, I want to do this, man, I just feel super humbled.
And four of them closed.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, um, yeah, it's a gift, man.
Yeah, I remember like you sharing the idea of a workshop on like the last week of August. Maybe it was like the 23rd of August, and the workshop was gonna held on like 26th of September, if I'm not wrong. And we had like a month gap to prepare all the marketing backend. And when I got to know about this workshop, I was like hands on onto it. I like devoted myself to this particular workshop. And when I got to know that this is gonna be your very first workshop, I was like definitely the workshop slides are just definitely gonna work. and those are going to persuade people towards, and it will also be like organizational for you. So what John, the workshop slides are really important to the coach, and basically when you first got to see that work of copy being delivered to you, and being in a structured way, the copy was written in order to get people from not only listening to your mission but also to subscribing and scheduling a book for the Sovereign Council of Kings, which is your one-on-one program. So how did you feel? Like, I did not know the backstory of how did you feel after seeing that part of the copy?
Um, I mean, to be honest, Vansh, I I was like, man, not another like scripted sales workshop funnel type of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I've had my own resistance to it, and
Hmm.
I mean, I've signed up things because of like a very like a similar formula. Um, and yeah, and it's not because like I signed up clients or that uh, you know they eventually booked calls with me, but it actually felt good. It felt good to share where I have been, where I've come from, and what I've learned and who I've helped. And to like really lay that out in a way that keeps people engaged and then give them value in the workshop. It's just a formula that makes sense. It makes
Yeah.
sense. And like I've been resistant to kind of like structured ways of like selling on a call or like not selling on yeah, like um having a booked call and being like going through a kind of like a formula, right? But there's a reason formulas work. And I've seen so many people be like, well, I don't really have a system when it comes to um, a sales call or an
Hmm.
onboarding call. And like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Well, when we have a system, it works not just like for psychology, but to like really empower somebody to make a decision and lean into that decision.
Yeah.
Especially like I know the offering that I have is life changing. It's powerful.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I receive messages all the time of people being like, dude, you blow my mind. Like, I don't know how we're doing this, blah, blah, blah. Like, thank you, thank you, thank you. And if it wasn't for this flow and this system, I wouldn't be able to make that impact with those people in the direct space. So that's where that like marketing comes in, where it's a formula of here's who I am. And it's not like it's very individual. You've learned information about me and you've put it into the system where it like really allows people to get to know me, to look at their own pain points and why they are there at that workshop, and for them to be like, yeah, I want to learn more. I want to see what this looks like moving forward to work with me. So um, yeah, it just makes sense, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, when there were men, when you were like delivering that workshop, and when men were so potent and were replying to what you had to share, it was like so much, like reality has like struck. Like a lot of time was spent on the back end on writing the actual message, but when you see real men like getting impact from the words that you have just written or from your energy, John, and what you had to share, then is where we can like literally just can see the things happening into the real life. And it was like mesmerizing for me too, to just being sitting on the after front of the camera and just seeing all of the work getting into played. And definitely we had like 80 people signed up for the workshop and 30 people just showed up for the workshop. But although I just felt like that a little people, the show up rate was less, but the amazing thing was that 30 people stayed by the end of the workshop, which tells the energy that you have throughout the workshop and the energy which those 30 people also felt, the transformation which they hold. And John, not to forget, the whole workshop was aside, and the practices that they did was one part of it. And when you just started incorporating those practices, it was like so mesmerizing to just see those all people to just stand up, breathe into their balls, and whatnot. So it was like a really great session to have, and I remember joining you over the call after the workshop. And man, it was all smiles from both of our ends. Being partners in this venture, it was like so great to see live calls being booked. So how was like your experience, man? You seemed like really calmed at that moment. I do remember that. You were like one more call booked, another call booked, and it's not something like that was happening for the very first time. People must have like booked call with you earlier. But how was it like getting six calls booked in one night, in one morning only?
It was surreal, man. It was surreal. And yeah, I was cool, calm, and collected for sure.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, this is great. Like, we got another call booked. We got another call booked. Um, and I also wanted to see like where that would go. And yeah, which leads me into the next thing. Like, we had like six calls booked. Um, and the 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 rate of men signing up fully was very high. It was like the workshop did most of the groundwork to sell them. I mean, there's obviously been a nurturing of funnels and my own content that I've created and the email marketing, but it was just like it was really easy to get to that call and be like, hey, this is what I'm offering. Do you want to do this? And then them be like, yeah, let me sign up right now. So it just nurtured really, really beautifully for it to be simple. A simple like sign up, like, yeah, like this is a no brainer. Let's work together. Let's get down and dirty. And so, yeah, man, I was stoked. I was stoked to be a part of that process. It was fun. It was fun to be on the call with you after and celebrating, the performance, the presentation, and then seeing people in live time filling out the questionnaire and being like, yeah, like let's get to work.
Yeah, uh, that's so true, John. So here's the whole journey, John. Within like 58 days, we were able to like not only get out of spam and build systems, but build a whole funnel where all like 30 men gathered in one room at that night, at that morning. A night for me, morning for me, night for you, like afternoon, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like a mesmerizing time to had, and we are just going to recreate that time, and this time it is just going to be much more bigger. And if you would just have to like share any thoughts about how was you feeling with me, how was like I uh, in terms of like communication wise, and was I like available for you? Did you have to like ask me to do things again and again, or something like that? So, and one more thing, if you have to like scale my services from 1 to 10, then what it would be?
Vansh, I give you a 10, man, for
Oh,
sure.
so humble to hear that. This is not scripted, guys. Let me just tell you, this is not scripted.
Yeah, man. No, you've been amazing support, and you're super communicative. Like you're locked in. Like I take time. Like sometimes I'm like I gotta like I got so much going on, and I don't respond to you, and you're like, yo, bro, what's going on? Like you good? You good? So you're checking in on me, and I really appreciate that. And it's not personal by any means. It's just sometimes I get overwhelmed, and I need to like take a step back for myself. But yeah, man. I mean, you're locked in on what needs to be done, um, and you hold me accountable. You've held me accountable to like getting the things done. And truly, man, like if it wasn't for you, none of that workshop would have come together in the way that it did. And I believe that this next upcoming workshop wouldn't come together if it wasn't for your mastery and your genius. And so, um, one of my intentions is to be able to surround myself with great minds, great humans, great hearts. Like that's really important. And you have an incredible mind and a great heart, and you allow me to do the things that I love to do. And I just hope and pray that I get to like support you in doing the things that you love to do, and be of impact in a collaboration together. So, yeah, that 10 is a true number. I am very blessed to be able to work with you. I'm so glad I said yes to that funny Instagram message that you sent me, and yeah, man, I don't need to like ask you to do things over and over again. It's a one time thing, and if you don't know the answer, you figure it out or you direct me towards the answer. Um, yeah, man, it's all good things, all good things. I just wish you were not in India so we could maybe work together like in real time.
That would be soon, John. I would just love to like visit Boulder and yeah, thanks for your kind words, John. Like even if uh, we are not in person, but definitely Destin would have some time in place where I can like meet you. That is also a bucket list thing which I have written for me. And I really love your energy, John. As I say, this is like a niche where I just really love to create an impact. And definitely, the work which I have done has also like taught a lot to me about the things. And I have like being serious on these things or like preserving my own energy and not to mention that I have learned a lot from the super transportation course of yours. I have like practiced a lot of like exercises and definitely I can like see what the energy and what the intensity of those exercises really can do to you. So, yeah, thanks for all the kind words, John, and we would just definitely be on our terms of, creating more impact into the world and getting more men to know about your products and the right men joins to your movement. So, thanks for the call today, John. And if you have any words for if like any coach asks you about me or my services, then any last words for them to have?
Yeah, man. I mean, I tell people about you all the time, and
Thanks for that.
I I trust that they will pull the trigger soon. Um, and nonetheless, if anybody out there is curious about Vansh and his work, know that it's the real deal. And he's a master. He's a master at what he does, and he is very on top of it. He will create, will cast the vision that you have. Like you have this ability to cast. You have the ability to help me cast my vision into places that I didn't think were possible. And so if you have a vision and something that you want to work with, that you want to make more impact in the world in, um, and you're like feeling stuck because you just want to do the thing, you just want to coach, you just want to help the people, yeah, I highly recommend working with Vanch because he will keep it authentic, he'll keep it real, he'll keep it heartfelt and centered to you as a person. And yeah, man, I just again recommend you and so grateful that we get to work together in all this.
Perfect, John. Thank you for your your message to the world, and I hope you create the best of impact that you have for your own mission. And definitely, I would be of service as much as I can do. And let's make this next for sure a great hit. So that's
Let's do it.
what I have.
Let's do it.